Fax forwarding on Canon Image Runner advanced multifunction printers. Canon devices that have a fax board installed on the device can send received faxes from the device to an email address or file storage location. This can help with reducing the amount of paper printed, lost, or misplaced faxes from the fax tray, or faxes received after regular business hours. Fax forwarding can be performed with conditions of what to do when the fax is received, or without conditions. Some conditions that can be selected are equal to the incoming fax number, differs from the incoming number, or begin with a certain set of numbers, just to name a few. Without condition setting is regardless of the fax number, the faxes will be forwarded to the storage location or email address. The locations to send the forwarded fax to must be registered in the device's address book. Let's look at the default settings for the fax forwarding operation. This will help identify where the forwarded file came from, either in an email or stored in a shared folder. Log into the Remote User Interface, RUI, and press Settings Registration, Function Settings, Send, Communication Settings, Email iFax Settings. Under Email, iFax Comment Settings, the default subject is Named Attached Image. Changing the name here will help identify the sending device, especially in locations that have more than one fax device or receives lots of faxes. In this example, we have changed the default subject to Incoming Orders Canon. This represents the orders that are faxed in and received by the Canon fax machine before being forwarded. Now let's add some destinations to forward to. From the landing page of the RUI, select Address Book. Scroll down and select one of the address lists. Select Register New Destination. With the option of email selected, enter a name for the destination, such as fax forwarding. Enter the email destination and press OK. If you are sending to a file folder, change the type to File and press Set. Enter the name for the folder location, such as Fax Folder. Select the network protocol. The default is SMB, with the options of FTP and WebDAV. Enter the destination where the file folder is located. We are using SMB, so it will be / computer name or IP address / shared folder name. Press Settings. Enter the username that has access to write to the folder and their password, then press OK. If you want to send the forwarded fax to more than one destination, the destination addresses must be registered in the device's local address book as a group address. Select Register New Group. Enter a name for the group, such as fax forwarding. Press Select Destination. Select the addresses to be included into that group and press OK. Then press OK again to create the group. The group address has been added. Creating a forwarding condition. From the RUI landing page, select Settings Registration. Under Function Settings, press Receive Forward. Select Forward Settings. The forward condition can be something as simple as the incoming fax number. The forward condition name is just a name for the condition. There are 7 different conditions that can be created. There are different variations for each condition, and it is good to plan out what conditions you will be using. Here is a brief description of the different conditions. Disregarded forwards all received faxes, regardless of the fax number or condition. If there is another condition, such as equals fax number, it will be forwarded to 2 destinations. Equals. The fax number from the sending device matches exactly to the fax number in the condition. Differs from. The sending device fax number is different from the number in the condition. Begins with. The sending device fax number starts with specific numeric characters. The condition can vary on length based on the number of characters. Ends with. The fax number will end with a specific number. It will disregard the starting characters. This can be used with multiple numbers. Contains. The fax number will have specific numbers within the fax number. Does not contain. The fax number from the sending device does not contain any of the numbers listed in the condition. A word of caution. The heading we are using in this condition is equals. The customer would have to program the incoming number exactly, as it is listed in the header. In the example below, the number is 905555678 with no dashes. If the sending fax is programmed to include the prefix of 9, so the number in the header is 99055556789, the forward condition will not work. This is something that the customer must be aware of. In this example, we are going to create a forwarding condition that will look for the fax number that begins with a number in the condition. When the customer has a condition set up of begins with, that it takes the first part of the phone number based on the number of characters in the condition, then sends the fax to its new address location, be it email, file folder, etc. From the RUI, under Forwarding Settings, select Add New Conditions. Make sure the receive method is set to fax. Enter the name for the forwarding condition. 1-800 invoices. Make sure forwarding condition is enabled. Under Forwarding Conditions, fax number, change the drop-down and select Begins with. Enter the characters it should be looking for. In our example, it will be 1-800. Under Forwarding Destination, press Select Destination for Select Destination from Address List. Select the address list to choose from and press Display. Select the destination to forward the faxes to. You can only select one destination. More than one destination would require a group address. Press OK. Under Forward Settings, enter a name for the file that will be sent. This would be the name of the PDF that is created. It will add a subnumber for each PDF sent. For example, invoice_001, then invoice_002, and so on. You can check the box if you want the fax to be divided into single pages, OCR the PDF, or create a PDF-A file. You can check the box for Specify Forwarding Time if the fax forwarding conditions are used during a particular time. You can specify every day or specific period, such as weekends or evenings. If you select Forward Done Notice, the receiver of the notice will be informed of any fax forwarding completed. After entering all the information for the forwarding condition, scroll back to the top and press OK. Let's test the forwarding condition. Using a second fax machine, send a test page to the receiving fax machine. From the receiving machine, press Status Monitor, then press Receive. After the handshake protocol has completed, the destination will be displayed. The fax page will be transferred. The fax transfer is complete. As a side note, some people believe that fax forwarding leaves their devices open to a network attack. That cannot happen. Fax machines communicate across public telephone networks or public switch telephone network, PSTN. These signals are analog signals. Where computers send emails or files, using digital signals. With two different signal types, it would be like hacking a company's server with a record player. It cannot happen. When a fax machine finishes receiving a fax transmission, the phone connection between the two fax machines is closed. The connection to the network through the fax machine is closed, locking out a possible hacker. When the fax has been received and the forwarding condition is met, the device will send the file to the forwarding locations. Depending on the file size of the received fax, the forwarding operation can be completed very quickly. With the forwarding condition enabled, it will be sent to two destinations. One destination was an email address, and the other destination was a file location. Those two destinations were in a group address. If we check our email client, we see we have received the forwarded fax. If you look at the file name, it shows the file name that was created in the forwarding condition. If we check the file location, we will see the file in the folder. The difference between the file name in the storage location and the name in the email attachment is that the device will add the timestamp to the name of the file when it's sent to the file location. Fax forwarding without conditions. Fax forwarding without conditions is a simple method to forward any and all incoming faxes to a storage location or by email. This is also a good condition for a business that will receive faxes after business hours. This minimizes any lost or misplaced faxes that have been printed. You can also use forwarding without conditions with other specific forwarding conditions. The only consideration that must be observed is that forward without conditions are created after you have created the specific conditions. From the landing page of the RUI, press Settings Registration. Under Function Settings, press Receive Forward. Press Forward Settings. From the Forward settings, select Forward without conditions. With the Receive method set to fax and the condition enabled, press Select Destination under Forwarding Destination. Select the address book list to pull the address from and press Display. Select the destination for the forwarded faxes to be sent to. In this example, we are only using an email address. Select the address and press OK. Since we are logged in as the administrator, a message will appear if we select any destination that is not in the address book for the administrators. Press OK to continue. Under Forward Settings, enter the file name for the faxes that will be received during this condition. Just like a forwarding condition, you can select File Format, OCR, Forwarding Done Notification, or Store Print Receive File. The only option missing is Specify Forwarding Time. Press OK when complete. Under Status, you can see the indicator is green to show the forward condition is enabled. To test the new forwarding condition, send a sample page from another fax to the forwarding fax machine. From the forwarding fax machine, press Status Monitor, then press Receive. The fax machines will go through the handshake protocol, then the page will be transmitted. Once the fax has been received, the phone line will close, and the fax will be forwarded to the email address. When the user opens their email client, they will find a received fax based on the forwarding condition. Disabling or enabling fax forwarding conditions. So you have created some fax forwarding conditions, but they don't need to be enabled all the time, or you just want to turn it off. There are a couple of ways of doing this. From the control panel, under Forwarding Conditions, select the fax forwarding condition you want to change its status. Press the Validate Invalidate button. The status of the forwarding condition will change from on to off. To re-enable the condition, press the Validate Invalidate button. The other method is to use the RUI. Under Forwarding Settings, click the name of the forwarding condition, or the status icon. Uncheck the box for Enable this forwarding condition. Press OK to save the settings. The status will change to off. Thanks for watching.